Hi, this is Mayur Bardolia, and you are listening to Love Your Business podcast. This podcast isn't about magical tactics on running the business that makes you bored and tired. Instead, it's about how to love your business so that you can enjoy doing it and enjoy more time for yourself. Who is the most in demand in an orchestra? Many think it's a guitarist. Some even say that a drummer is the most important person in a band or an orchestra. There's another group of people who strongly advocate that the keyboard player is an important part of a band. And also, the lead singer is the key player, right? They all are necessary, but there is one instrument that is the most important, even if you don't hear too much in the band or an orchestra. So, what's the most underrated musical instrument in a band? It's bass guitar. Yes, bass guitar. Many people have no idea what a bass guitar even is. Despite this fact, the bass guitar is probably the most critical instrument in a group. It is rare to find a performing band without a bass player. But why is it very important? Because the bass player helps with providing the rhythm. A lot of people don't realize the other important function of the bass player is supporting harmony. If you remove the bass guitar player out of the band, you will notice that the sound coming from the guitar, drum or keyboard will be flat. The bass performs two basic and vital functions within a band or group. It provides a rhythmic foundation and the harmonic foundation. Without the bass guitar, every other sound is weak and empty. The bass guitar sound is not easily found, but it's a crucial part of a good band. Do we have something missing in our marketing message, like a sound of a bass guitar? Well, people make sure that product is nicely presented with cool graphics. Also, people make sure that they present their benefits and features well. And I found, and you probably found, that people praise themselves a lot and say how good they are. Are they all important? Yes, they are at some or minor level. But there is something that is very crucial element that most people ignore, but is very important. In this podcast, we will discuss what is the one thing that will make a big difference in how people respond to your marketing and sales message. Without endlessly praising your product, wasting your money on graphic designing, and talking about benefits and features, you can convince your customers effortlessly. And we will discuss two things in this podcast. What will make your marketing and sales message compelling, and how to design your message so that the customers feel like you are reading their minds. Let's dive in. Why our courses and workshops are way different from others? Well, people ask us this question a lot of times. We will share more on the uniqueness of our courses and workshops in some other episodes. But there is one strategy that we use and our customers are using, which help us to be different and better than others. And we use one element that works as a bass guitar. And that element is an objection from your customers. We spend a lot of time receiving questions and objections from people. They act as our guiding tool in creating a marketing and sales message that pulls the attention of our readers or listeners. You should do the same. Telling people about how good we are and our product is can be helpful, but your customers have a lot of questions in their minds. When people read the book Offer Craft, which I recommend you to have it if you want to know why people pay attention to your sales pitch and why they are ignoring you. The customers don't want to risk their money. They are asking questions in their mind as soon as you begin your sales pitch or marketing message. They have questions that they want answers from you. If any of those questions are not answered, they will turn away, and you will wonder why they changed their mind at the last minute. It's because their objections were not handled. And the Offer Craft book will give you the structure that will guide you on how to deal with every objection, even if they don't ask or before they ask. You should listen to your customers, especially the questions that they ask. And I highly recommend you to go to Amazon and buy Offer Craft book. It's very helpful. Now, most people hate questions and they don't like when the customers show objections. But their objections and questions will help you tremendously in developing and marketing your product. You must answer those questions. Many customers ask and many don't want to ask. But you need to present those questions upfront and answer them without waiting for them to ask. Don't wait or hope they are going to ask. They most probably will not directly ask you. So collect and answer those questions and objections. You can use them in your ads, marketing message, sales pitch, or product description. Those questions and objections act like a bass guitar in a band. They are not easy to find, but without their presence, the music will be dull and lifeless. Now, what kind of questions are needed? We will discuss this in the second part of this podcast. Let's find out, shall we? How can we create a profitable product? Well, one of my best courses is Conversational Hypnosis, which is about how to communicate hypnotically. It's available on Udemy. So go to udemy.com, is udemy.com/course/conversational-hypnosis. Or just type in Google Mayur Bardolia Conversational Hypnosis on Udemy. And I conducted the live workshop for the first time in 2013. And since then, I have conducted the same workshops more than 30 times at various places. And what made this workshop so successful and unique? Our workshop is not only just about dreaded learning and talking, it is also a lot of fun. And before I officially conducted the live workshop, Conversational Hypnosis, I conducted the same workshop for a small group of about 10 people to test. Because I wasn't too sure what should be included and what should be excluded. So we conducted this pilot workshop, but we did something interesting. We divided the group into two parts. There was one group of people who were supposed to ask negative questions, and they were asked to disagree with what I was presenting, what I was teaching. They were supposed to show doubts and asking me to convince them. But they were not too rigid, but they were doubtful enough to get clarity over the topics. The second group was supposed to be interested Their job was to ask me questions about where can they implement the ideas. They were supposed to agree with me and be curious to know more in a positive way. They wanted to know how to apply the concepts and learning. And this practice helped me in creating a fantastic course and a workshop. You need both types of customers. When your customers question you, they have doubts. They don't want to risk their money. So they are cautious. Also, there are people who are interested but are not yet convinced. So they are curious. So, what's the one thing that you can do after this podcast? You should come up with all the objections and questions your customers have. You can make a list of some questions without talking to your customers. And then you can add more questions and objections asked by customers and answer them before they ask you in your marketing and sales message. Bring out the objections and questions either directly or indirectly in your marketing and sales message. And it's more like you're reading their mind, you are answering the questions before they ask you. And these questions and objections are like a sound of a bass guitar. All your features, benefits, graphics, bonuses, etc. will look dull and boring without the answers to these questions. So make a list of them and include them in your marketing and sales promotion. And that takes us to the end of the podcast. Let's find out what's happening in our world. It's August 21. I'm currently designing a course on how to design a sales speech. And I'm planning to launch in probably September or October. And I'm designing this course because people are tired of listening to the same old sales pitch. People are more careful and cautious before they spend their money on your product. Just like you, there are many more who are pitching the same product like yours to them. How are you going to pitch way better than others? How to sell without looking needy or greedy? You should join this course if you want to sell without pressure. Send me an email at mayur@mayurbardolia.com so that you will be added to my waiting list. And if you think your customers are not buying from you, even if your product is too good, or maybe don't know if it's good or bad, you should check what is missing in your marketing and sales offer. If you want to know why your customers are not paying attention to you and not even telling you why they are not buying, we can do the check for you. We provide consultation for 60 minutes, and by the end of the call, you will know exactly where the problem is and how you can fix them. Send me an email at mayur@mayurbardolia.com. We will schedule the call and fix the problem in your marketing and sales message. It will save you a lot of time, money, and frustration. That takes us to the end. Thank you for listening. It's Mayur Bardolia. Bye for now. Still listening? You're listening to the Love Your Business podcast. If you like what you heard in this podcast, you should share this with your friend. Ask your friend to subscribe to the Love Your Business podcast. Share the link mayurbardolia.com/subscribe. They will probably love the Love Your Business podcast. They will thank you later. Please leave a review of Love Your Business podcast and send your question, or if you want to talk to me, send me an email at mayur@mayurbardolia.com. I will answer. Yes, I read and reply to every single email. It's Mayur Bardolia. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.